By the way, I thought your documentary was great.
Oh, thanks.
I personally am a guy who, when I was in college, I spent a good 5-6 hours a week in Tower Records in Tempe, Arizona. I would be in there scouring, looking for records, and you made a documentary. I didn't know any of this stuff about Tower Records.
Good, yeah.
Explain the basic idea behind what happened.
So basically, I'm from Sacramento, which is where Tower was originated, and Tower was, the founder of Tower, this guy by the name of Russ Solomon, who's an amazing character, he started selling used 78s out of his father's drugstore in 1939.
Tower Drugstore.
Yes, it was the Tower drugstore, and eventually it evolved into opening the first Tower Records in 1960. And by the time they went bankrupt in 2006, they had over 192 stores around the world. And so when I found out about that drugstore, because coming from Sacramento, Tower was like a point of civic pride, but I didn't know much about its history. But when I found out about that drugstore, I instantly just went, well, that sounds like a documentary. I mean, if it starts there and it ends there and it involves the music industry, I'm sure there are a lot of really great stories.
You have all these people, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, Dave Grohl, talking about what Tower meant to them.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl worked at a Tower Records store.
Yeah, he worked at Tower Records in Virginia.
Elton John would go in and all the time.
Elton, they would open the store early for Elton, and he would have his limo driver carry a box, and Elton had a list of records, and he'd buy 3, 1 for each one of his houses, and he did that for decades.
Those were great, just going through the record store. Now we get everything so easily. It's just not the same. I know we romanticize everything.
Yeah, but it's like the way I look at it is I don't remember when I look at a certain album, I don't remember oh, I remember where I was when I downloaded that. It was so great. You know what I mean? And so for me...
I was at home.
I was at home. I was in my underwear. It was great. Oh, and then I just danced the night away. So for me, there is something about, record stores and going in that physical interaction, obviously, that personal connection. But then also Tower itself was just, it's such an amazing company. There were people that worked at Tower. They started as clerks and they worked all their, they worked there for 30 years and ended up, basically, the highest of the food chain there within the company. I mean, there were people that spent a huge chunk of their life there.
I was one of them.
And then when they went bankrupt, they all had to fire each other. So it's a very human story. It's really not so much a documentary about the music industry so much as it is about this misfit family that came together and took over the world and had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, it's excellent, especially if you're into that sort of thing. Yeah. It's called, what's the title of it again?
It's entitled All Things Must Pass.
All Things Must Pass.
Yeah.
Colin Hanks, everybody. Thank you, Colin. I am Jimmy Kimmel. Want to see more? Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking here. It's just like subscribing to a magazine, but without those annoying cards that fall out of them.